DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best receivers in the league, is a free agent. So my question for you, as former NFL DB, someone who played 12 years in the NFL, where do you think the best landing spot for the star receiver would be?
I was thinking Dallas. But the reason why I'm thinking Dallas, like I think Dallas would be a good fit for him. I mean, I know he can go to KC, he can go to Buffalo, he can go to really any contender that he want to. And for right now, DeAndre Hopkins, I don't think it's about the money. I think the man really want to win a ring. So I think he want to be a big piece to that. One of the big pieces is Dallas. You know, he can go to Philly. Really, he can go any way he want to. But I just think DeAndre Hopkins, his competitive attitude, he won't go like to where he see, okay, this team is on the verge, and the verge might be outside looking in. Instead of, I know Philly gonna be in the talks. I know Buffalo gonna be in the talks. I know KC gonna always be in the talks on hoisting the Lombardi's. But man, what's a squad I like? What's a young good squad? And the young good squad right now is the Dallas Cowboys. If you look at it, you see what they're doing on defense. Their defense is locking in. They're getting some pieces together. They draft well. You can say what you want to say about Jerry Jones, but one thing Jerry Jones do well is he draft. He's a hell of a GM when it comes down to the draft. So you're looking at the missing pieces or some kind of depth. I know you pick up Brandon Cooks. You got CD. You got Gallup. You get that fourth receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. Now you got a hell of a mix, because you did lose your tight end. So, of course, I lost my tight end. So if I lose a tight end, man, I gain a receiver. And what better way to give a guy like Dak Prescott a receiver like DeAndre Hopkins? He's always open. I mean, even when he got 2 or 3 guys on him. So if you want to talk about opening up the playbook for CeeDee Lamb, letting him work the slot when DeAndre come in, hopefully Michael Gallup can stay healthy throughout the game. And we just all know what Brandon Cooks do. Brandon Cooks, low-key, been the most consistent receiver in the league when it comes down to 1,000 yards every year and him getting behind the defense. So it just depends on what the offensive coordinator, Schottenheimer, what he want to do and if he want to. But I would say Dallas, but, DeAndre just got so many options right now. It's good to have options. They say if 2 teams fighting for you, you got action. And I'm sure it's more than 2 teams that wouldn't mind having DeAndre Hopkins.
Don't forget, from the defensive standpoint with the Cowboys as well, like Dan Quinn will remain the defensive coordinator there. And this comes during the offseason when he had interest from other teams to become their head coach. He's the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons and a great defensive mind. So when I see what Micah Parsons is doing, I know that there's not going to be a drop-off because there's that continuity and that Quinn will remain the team's defensive coordinator in the 2023 season.
He could have left.
Yep.
Coach Quinn could have left. But he looking at the old Coach Quinn looking at the old Seattle Seahawks. He looking at what he had with the Seattle. Micah, I keep saying this. I said this about Joe Burrow. I said Joe Burrow will get paid $60 million a year. And we shall see what he get paid before training camp. Micah Parsons will be the highest paid defensive player ever until somebody else beat whatever he gets. And that's just how I feel. And he deserves every penny that he get. He just, them guys like him, they don't come around too often. When you see him, you got to acknowledge it. When you see greatness, you just got to acknowledge it. And the young man is great, and he ain't even tap into his potential. That's the crazy part about it. So Quinn ain't going nowhere. When you got a guy like Michael Parsons who understands what it is to be a professional in the offseason, not being lazy, working hard, always saying how he can get better, looking at guys in college still because he's still young, looking at guys on who he think that can help their defense, and y'all wind up drafting somebody he like. I mean, come on, man. Then when you look at the linebacker position, inside linebacker position, you lock in on that and you draft. And then when you look at the secondary, you got your 1-2 punch you're looking for with Diggs and Gilmore. So, I mean, Coach Quinn just looking at it like, I didn't seen this before. I'm just missing a piece. I don't know what piece I'm missing. I'll figure that out. But that defense ain't going to be the issue. So now it's just going to be on the Dallas Cowboys offense. And what I mean by that is what Dallas do have to do on defense, they got to control the run game. Because it's going to be hard to pass on them, but they need to control the run game. So we'll see. We'll see.
Given that this is a Steelers show, I think we've talked enough about the Cowboys. A few other landing spots for D
Right.
Hop. You know I'm going to go here, and I say Kansas City. But reason being, you free up Travis Kelce, so you can't bracket him at the tight end position. You pair him with Kadarius Toney, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Remember, Juju Smith-Schuster is now a member of the New England Patriots, so there's a void there, and we know what Patrick Mahomes can do with the star receiver with what he did pairing a few years back with Tyreek Hill. So I think the Chiefs would potentially be a fit. The Bills would be interesting too because Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins would be an absolutely horrifying tandem. And I think they would be up there with the best receiver duos. I would put them in the same mix as Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle down in Miami. So two other spots, Kansas City and Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, he got options. He definitely got options. Like I said, I don't think it's the money for D Hop right now. D Hop ain't tripping on the money. I think that might be the third thing he looking for when it comes down to a list. The first thing is a team and an OC and a quarterback. You know, who's the head coach, who's the quarterback. Then we'll talk about the money.
Yeah, I can. One other thing too with Buffalo, right now only $1.5 million in salary cap space. Surely the Bills would need to free up a lot of salary cap space. But you've taught me this. It's more manipulating the cap and playing around with it than it is a true deterrent. You've taught me that in the years that we've done here, the Bleav in Steelers show, in terms of how front offices operate to free up money to be able to make acquisitions go after star players.
That salary cap is for us to talk about. For them owners, for them billionaires, man, they can shift, they can move that thing, they can move that line how they want to. It's just like
Yeah.
having a stop. It's like having a mobile stop sign. If I want a stop sign to stop 100 yards down the line, that's what I'm gonna do when I'm a billionaire. If I want a stop sign to stop when you pull up, that's exactly what it's gonna do. So they got the luxury, they got the options to move that cap how they want to move it.